Hey YouTube, it's Grawly. Long time no video, so I thought I'd come back with episode 6 of my Q&A series. Promised I'd do this at the end of last month. It's kind of 2 months have passed since I did my last Q&A. A quick update on that. The reason why: I've been extremely busy. I found work in a self-employed capacity. That would be fitting kitchens, and I've been working long days from 7 AM in the morning through till 8 and sometimes 9 PM at night, 5 and 6 days a week. So I've had very little time. What time I've had not at work has been spent with family and doing jobs needed around the house. So I've had no time for hobby, and I've had no time for making videos. But I've recently moved into a different role, still involved with the same kitchen company, but I'm now acting as a logistics manager for the kitchen company, and quite an apt phrase that I saw on Facebook about logistics managers is the logistics manager sorting out the shit you've not even thought of yet. So that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of pulling the company around, improving the reputation, looking at the whole customer experience, getting things better, making the company twice as good as it was before. So I'm enjoying this new challenge, this new role. It's something to get my teeth into. But that doesn't mean I've not enjoyed the physical side of it. I've actually lost a couple of inches off my waist, and my sugar levels for my diabetes are more under control because I've been more active over the past 6 to 8 weeks. So it's all been good. It's good stuff. So partly that's the reason why I've not been making video content for the past few weeks. Let's say probably about 6-7 weeks, where I've not had a chance to do anything at all. But we're getting kind of evenings and weekends back, so I've got more time with the family, more time to do some hobby work, which hopefully I can get some more of the Harlequins done this week, and get back to entertaining you guys with this ugly mug. Anyway, we'll crack on. I don't want to waffle too much because we're already about 3 minutes into the video. We'll crack on with the Q&A. So, as I say, I've got my iPad underneath my camera, so I'll put my giggles on so I can actually see. You won't be able to see my eyes, it's just reflections. So, first question was from Scragguard. He says, have you and your wife ever been on a haunted house experience? That's a really good question, and it's almost like you know us. That's spooky. Yes, we have had haunted house experiences. Both me and Mrs. Grawley are spiritually inclined. She's a spiritualist by choice in faith. I'm a pagan by choice, and we've actually had ghosts in our own home. We're very sensitive to like spirits and the energies around, and aware of the potential that could be. But in our own home, we actually had a young chap who had crossed over into the spirit realm many years ago. Got nicknamed Jake, and when both the little Grawlys were fast asleep in bed, we used to hear on the floor. It's like, boys, who's out of bed? Got no answer. They're both fast asleep in bed. Now, if you're a parent, you kind of go in and you know if the kids are faking being asleep. There's just a certain air about children who are properly asleep. I mean, our boys were properly asleep, but there was still this sounds of movement, footsteps, boards creaking on the floor and all the rest of it. Anyway, we did some investigating, I found out it's this spirit kid, Jake, and he was wanting to play. Sometimes he was disturbing the boys, and they were kind of going like, "Oh, it's the middle of the night. What's going on? You know, what's happening?" But they're both spiritually inclined to sense spirits and everything else, and they kind of realised, hang on, you know, there's somebody here from the other side, kind of thing. But just like with all children, it was just a case of being firm. It's like, we don't mind you visiting, Jake, but do it at a reasonable time. You know, not in the middle of the night. Don't be disturbing them and waking up. And a lot of the disturbances subsided. You know, we still had the odd little bit during the day. We've not had Jake around for a while, so he seems to have kind of moved on. But for a while, it was in the daytime we'd hear things. You know, when the boys were at school, we'd hear footsteps and stuff like that. So he was coming visiting at a more reasonable time. So I think because it was in the daytime and both our boys were, or at least the two littlest Grawlys were off at school. They weren't here. He must have got bored and kind of moved on to somewhere else. So yes, haunted house experiences. We've had several, including our own home. So hope that was an interesting side of the Grawley household for you there, Scragguard. But thank you very much for the question. The next one it was from Wargaming Sean. He apologised for asking so many questions on the last one, and here comes an interruption. I can just hear coming through the door. No, not coming in the room. He can hear me on the recording the video. So he asked, sorry for so many questions. Don't apologise, Sean. I say multiple questions help with the video content for Q&As, so you know, they're always welcome. And this time he just simply asked, what is your favourite thing to do with your family when you get together? Do you play games? Do activities outside? Just talk? What do you do? As a family, we don't go on holidays. We'll have occasional days out, but on the whole we get together as a family probably evening times. We'll get DVDs and Blu-rays, and we'll get kind of nachos and dips in and popcorn and chocolate treats and all sorts, and kind of like close the curtains, turn the telly on with the DVD, and we'll all sit down together and enjoy a film. We don't have a dining room. I'll say here at the moment we're in the kitchen, but it's a cooking area and like utility area. It's not a dining area. So we tend to eat in the living room on our knees, or special occasions like kind of for Christmas. It's unfortunately it's a paste table covered in a cloth to put Christmas dinner on. Not the flimsy wooden paste tables. I've got a proper heavy duty plastic one, so it'll take a table load of food. But more often than not, it's just kind of like sitting and lounging around watching DVDs. You know, we'll choose kind of family films. We're well into like the superhero stuff, like all the Marvel stuff and the Avengers. We like things like Batman, the Spider-Man stuff, Transformers, Disney films. Even though the two little Grawlys are growing up now, they'll still watch quite kiddified films. And we'll also sit and watch kind of action adventures, lots of different types of things. But the littlest Grawly, he was into like the chick flicks with his mum. He kind of watched some of the girly type films quite happily, but he's doing drama. You know, I walked in the other day and he was watching Grease, the stage production on Netflix or something. He was watching, and he was quite hooked on it. You know, things like Little Shop of Horrors and other things, kind of like play type stuff. He'll quite happily watch them, but we don't do that as a family. the boys like anime. They can rhyme off loads of different anime series that they've watched. Me and Mrs. Grawley is like, no. TV, we'll watch TV together. The boys not so much. We like Mythbusters. Supernatural we'll watch, but not a huge amount we'll watch as a family. Mainly kind of like movies, DVDs, action adventure films. So that one pretty much kind of covers that question, Sean. So hopefully that answers what we like to do as a family. Mainly mung out watching DVDs. Family fun. It's good stuff. Next one is from Tabletop Banter. So thanks for the question, Callum. He asked, what moment in your hobby life and in your personal life are you most proud of? Let's start with hobby life. I suppose there's quite a few things that I'm quite proud of. The terrain piece that I did for Idig Beer, the terrain circle square competition that was run a short while back. That was the first time I'd actually used silicone moulds, like making moulds and casting bits. I was really pleased with the outcome on that, because for a first attempt that was pretty good. Kind of got the mould first time. Slight hiccup on the release agent, the two halves I had to kind of cut apart rather than doing it, but that was the only mistake I made really. Not enough release agent doing the second part of the mould. But the whole modelling and moulding and casting process, yeah, I was really happy with that one, really proud of that one. But I think the one I'm most proud of, it's purely down to the fact that it was done in honour of my dad, who passed away recently, was getting my Wraith Knight finished. My dad was called Albert, and this Wraith Knight that I've got proudly on my shelf now is called Albert. So yeah, proud of getting that finished. Mrs. Grawley got it for me probably about 2 years previously as an anniversary present, and it kind of got built and then got left, and other things kind of took over. But when my dad passed away, it's like, I'm going to get this finished and I'm going to name it after him. So it's there as a memory. Hopefully, like all father-sons, I always hoped that I'd live up to his expectations and he would be proud of me. And I know at the end that, yeah, he was proud of the man I'd become. Just as I'm proud of my sons, all 4 of them, for the men that they are becoming. As a father, it's your legacy, and all we can do is bring up our children to appreciate right and wrong, and be there to pick up the pieces when it all goes tits up. But yeah, that was the proudest moment anyway in hobby life, is getting that Wraith Knight finished in honour of my dad. In personal life, proudest moments, it's difficult, but as a father it would have to be the birth of your children. So firstborn is Mike, who's you probably better know as Mammoth Painting Studio, and the next one is Connor. He's 3 years the junior, but they've both grown up into men. So yeah, as a father, you know, seeing your sons born, that was a proud moment. Getting married to Mrs. Grawley was a proud day, and becoming the father of 2 additional sons. You know, little Grawley's just popped his head around the door, peering at me, wondering what I'm doing. So, do you want to say hello? No, he's shaking his head, he doesn't want to say hello on camera. So yeah, proud moments. It's always got to be around your children. and obviously the achievements that they kind of do. And as I getting married for the second time, as I say, Mrs. Grawley probably looks after me, keeps me on the straight and narrow, and loves me to bits, as I love her to bits, and I'm not afraid to say that in public. You know, it's she's my best friend, and I'm proud that I've got such a really good friend. So there we go. So hopefully, Callum, that kind of answers the questions, that the bits in hobby life and the bits in personal life that I'm most proud of. Lots of other memories that kind of make me proud, and the way things are dealt with. Another one I've thought of was when the two stepsons, Joshua and Harry, actually turned around and decided to take my name. That was quite a shock. That we never pushed into it, but that was their decision, and it's like, yeah, you're right, Dad. We want you to. We want to have your name. We're part of the family, and all four boys from, let's say, first and second marriages, they're not step brothers to each other. They're brothers, it's older brothers, younger brothers, whatever. And it's been great kind of seeing them build those relationships. You know, I'm proud of the boys. I'm proud of my best friend. So thank you for the question, Callum. Next one, Idic Beer asks the question. So, hey Nick, he made a comment last time that I was kind of coughing a bit, so I've actually got a cup of tea ready, just in case. So while I take the chance, just hang on. A cup of tea in my Star Trek cup. There we go. Nick asks, what is your favourite superhero and why? Ooh, superheroes, there's so many. I like Batman, I like Spider-Man, I like the Marvel and DC. I like all the superheroes, but I think my favourite has got to be one of the Marvel superheroes, and that is Thor. Why Thor? I'm pagan by choice, as I said earlier in the video, and part of my belief is in the Norse philosophies, the Odinism, and the way that the Norse kind of conducted themselves. They weren't all bloodthirsty Vikings. They were very cultured and civilised people. Yeah, they did go around and kill and conquer peoples, but on the whole they were farmers and traders, and they conquered the world more by trade and influencing other cultures rather than kind of raping and pillaging. So Thor, having the links to like the Norse pantheon of gods, Asgard and all the rest of it, that always piqued my interest. So, you know, even to this day, Thor, and I am still the proud owner of a figurine, a 28 scale miniature that Mammoth painted for me for a gift. I'm trying to remember if it was a birthday or Christmas. I can't remember off the top of my head now. I'm getting old and going senile, so the memory fades. But yeah, I've got a figurine of Thor, and that's in going back in my videos. There's one I did displaying the talents of, and there's just a little kind of 60-second thing kind of displaying this figurine. So if you want to see that one, just go have a look back in the back catalogue. Yeah, favourite superhero, Thor. Just 'cause he's cool, and I think Chris Hemsworth plays a really good character of Thor in the Marvel, you know, like the Avengers series of films. You know, I like the way he's kind of portrayed it, and how he's kind of got into that role. I know Tim Hiddleston originally auditioned for the role of Thor in the Marvel films, but the producers thought he would be much better suited as Loki, and he was the perfect choice. You know, I like that kind of, that brother rivalry, kind of good evil kind of thing. Loki's not evil, but he's kind of like batting for the other side. He's, you know, one of the not good guys, not necessarily a bad guy. But yeah, Thor's my favourite Nick. So hopefully that answers that question. Oh, right. There's a couple more questions, but just let me have another slurp. Hang on one sec. I could feel a cough coming on them. There we go. So next question is from tattooforyou, Richard. Greetings all the way over there in Texas. It says Texas is very hot right now. It was commenting on the previous question about the Discworld stuff and the Pern series that I was commenting on about the dragons. So we've piqued his interest there. So that was a good response from the last Q&A. But he's asked a couple of questions. First one is, what would be the perfect day-night for Mrs. Grawlys and yourself? Perfect day and night. We're not very kind of complicated people. I think the perfect day-night we have most days, and or at least when kind of work allows. And other things, it's just kind of spending time together. You know, I'll sit and kind of tickle her back and rub feet into Mrs. Grawlys' cream, rub cream into Mrs. Grawlys' feet, and just kind of pamper her. So I say most nights we have like the perfect kind of day night. We don't tend to go out. We're not kind of drinkers to any degree. Mrs. Grawlys doesn't drink at all. I'm just a very occasional drinker. Malt whiskey is my preferred poison. So yeah, it's not doing anything in particular. It's just being there together. Especially if the boys are here as well, it's like spending time as a family and doing stuff together. That's the perfect time. Nothing spectacular. Sorry, Richard. But he also asked, do you enjoy long drawn-out narrative campaigns, like several games telling a story, lasting maybe a few months? Not so much, but that depends on how that narrative plays out. I have watched through some of the narrative campaigns that Mini Wargaming have put out there and released. But the fact that you get some on YouTube, some in the vault, you don't really get the whole campaign. You have to kind of subscribe to the vault to get the other half of the narrative. And I suppose in some respects that kind of puts me off, but it doesn't mean I don't enjoy them. I tend to watch probably just single battle reports. I focus mainly on Eldar, Harlequins, a few other factions, kind of Imperial Guard stuff. I'll kind of watch some battle reports of them. But if it's a long battle report, I don't have time to watch it. You know, so if it's, I see that like the time is like, you know, an hour and a half, an hour and 3/4, 2 hours or more. It's like, I've got time to watch this. I tend not to kind of pick up and watch it. I try to watch battle reports that are an hour or less. And I quite like seeing ones where you're seeing the dice being rolled, so you can see the results of everything. It's not just, yeah, we moved these here and these died. Next turn. Short forms, it kind of lacks something. So yeah, I kind of like a kind of a bit of banter going on around the battle report and kind of see how things have kind of played out, and you know the player's frustration at rolling ones. You know, or those that kind of get smug because they're always rolling sixes. It's one of those things. So yeah, I'll watch narrative campaigns, but not as a preference, if that makes sense. So thanks for the question, Richard. Hopefully that's both the questions answered. And last question, just check. Yes, last question is from Mammoth Painting Studios. He asked, or it says, I've always enjoyed the converted Wraith Lords Knights into aspect warriors or Harlequins. Which one would be your favourite, and would you consider doing one yourself? Possibly. I think I like the Wraith Knights, although they're only for a bigger sized army if you're actually taking them onto the board. The Wraith Lords, being smaller, you could accommodate more, and I would probably consider Wraith Lord into the Harlequin rather than the Wraith Knight. I think the Wraith Knight's too big for what the Harlequins do. They kind of like very small and mobile. So even the Wraith Lord isn't kind of like the swiftest of things to like keep up with the fast moving force, small, hard hitting. But yeah, if I had to do one, if I considered doing one, it would be getting a Wraith Lord and doing it as a Harlequin. So I think that would probably be my favourite as well. Rather than the Aspect Warriors, it would be for the Harlequins. Got me thinking now. But rather than the Aspect Warriors or Harlequins, what I'm really considering is getting figures and converting and doing a Corsair faction. So we'll see how that one goes. Once the bits to do the Corsair upgrades have been out of stock for months at Forge World, so I'm keeping an eye on them for coming back in stock, and then hopefully I can use my casting skills to maybe replicate some of the parts, and I can kind of like build a small Corsair detachment to go with the Harlequin detachment that goes with my Bieltan army, and we'll see where it takes from there. So that's it in the way of questions. We're getting on to about 28 minutes, so we're on another kind of half-hour Q&A. I'm not going to waffle and ramble. I'm going to try to get the content kind of up and running again. But just to close, it's just a thank you to Idic Beer, to Nick, for doing the shout out a week or so ago, kind of spotlighting my channel. We've gained half a dozen subscribers from it in the last week. Yeah, I'm up to 230 subscribers. It's nice to have subscribers, but I don't do all this predominantly for, I'll do some content so it's going to get me some subscribers. I'm not into that. If I get subscribers, that's great. But I'm not going to kind of like beg for subscribers. This is, for me, putting content there. If people like it, they like it. If they don't, I'm not going to force people to watch. So we shall leave it at that. But hopefully what I do, people like, and if they want to subscribe, fantastic. Thank you very much. And thank you for those subscribers that have kind of like come on board and stayed with me all this time. It's kind of keep losing a couple, getting in a couple, not making any really kind of like big leaps and jumps in the volume, but maybe when I get to a certain level, I might consider a giveaway. You never know. We shall see. So I'm going to leave it for there. So as always, I shall love you and leave you. And as always, take care from Grawlys Lair.